And I didn't read the whole book.
Yes, so what I was telling, this book is not something that we can learn from it many things, but we refresh so many things that sometimes we miss in our daily life to implement it. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I have prepared few slides. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this book, The Richest Man in Babylon, was written by George Clason after the Great Depression period in 1929. And he gave us lots of, let's say, laws and rules about how we can enhance our financial situation, because he lived the financial crisis. And as for him, even during the Babylonians, which is, very old ancient time, for 1,000 years, but still we can see that we can still implement the same techniques with the same mentality in our daily life. And for him also, he offers the wealth tips from Babylon, which we know that it is the richest and most prosperous city of ancient times. And it turns out that creating wealth today is not different from how people in Babylon did it. So this book, if we look at it just as, a good reminder for us to rely on it from time to time, not to forget that, yes, we still can manage our financials. Of course, here in Lebanon, whatever we do nowadays, whatever we do, we cannot meet at all these laws. I agree with you before you telling me that, okay? So in case in the future things get better, at least we can review these points. I just want to share with you the major points of the book. He talked about the man who desired gold, and of course he created this, let's say, the character, and he let us know through this character about the major points. The 7 cures of lean purse, meet the goddess of luck, the 5 laws of gold, the gold lender of Babylon, the walls of Babylon, I like it a lot, by the way, the camel trader of Babylon, and the luckiest man in Babylon. And of course, the 3 major laws he talked about, the first law was about building wealth is, first of all, let's never forget to pay ourselves first, because sometimes we forget that, and especially we that have responsibilities, we always forget to do this. The second law is to live within your means and don't spend what you don't have. Again, I believe we as Lebanese culture, maybe not we in this group, but overall, we do see people, they face this challenge. And the third law is to seek advice from those who are competent to give it. This is very important. Also, I always share this with my clients, that it's not shame or it's not something bad if I want an advice to go and see a professional. Here in our team, in the members of the book club, we have so many professional people with us. We have orthophonists, we have mentor, we have nurse, we have psychologists. So we know that if we want something, yes, I can go for a professional person and seek for help. It's not wrong. To the contrary, this advice will help me to be a better person and to enhance my skills without any hesitation. So this is very important. And again, when you set a task for yourself completed, this sentence, I put it in red, it's really, really important for me. I keep telling it myself, and I always tell my clients, very important, when you have a task to do, when you have a goal to do, you have always to complete it in order at the end to reward yourself and feel proud. I have so many quotes from the book. I love them a lot. I have mentioned them. You can have a look whenever you want. So for me, this book, I have read it maybe like at least 15 years ago, maybe. I never got back to it within the 15 years. But when I read it again now, I read it like in an hour or an hour and 20 minutes only. So it was good to refresh few techniques, few ideas, and I just made my notes. So now I would love to hear from you. Whoever wants to share her or his thoughts, let me know. Who's first? Who wants to share?
Me,
Najah, go ahead.
Yes, yes. First, as you mentioned, this is a book, a reminder book, and the guidelines that are in this book are not applicable in our situation in Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
When I read the book, I thought any rules can be applicable in our days, so we can go with this problems.
Yes.
I saw that it's very difficult to.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, so this is like a guidelines for the things that I love, that this book is giving an equality. The author tries to say that all people can make money.
Mm-hmm.
There is no profession that makes money and another that cannot make money.
Yes.
It's on the person to make some regulations, some guidelines for himself to make his own wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, saving 10% is I think principle that we teach our children.
True.
Also, not
mm-hmm.
Always when you want to teach your children, to your child to begin his financials.
Yes. Najah, can I interrupt you in something here? Just what you said is very true. And when we tell our kids that this theory comes from 4,000 years ago, from the Babylonians, how they started to think, and we teach them, still we are teaching them the same theory. It means that this theory is valid, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
100%, yes. And what else? Yes, and I love something that is written in the book and is applicable to the Lebanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
That don't spend your money or don't live a lifestyle up to your level.
Yes, yes.
Before 17 September, October, all the loans for baby, for celebrations, I don't know, all this kind of loans that are given by banks and all the people that are involved in this kind of loans.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this also led us to this situation in
yes
now.
Mm-hmm.
And wealth is a good thing to succeed.
Of course.
As the writer said, some people said, no, I don't like to, wealth is something that is not good. I don't know if,
I don't believe in that. Wealth is very important. Yes, we cannot buy happiness with wealth, fine. We cannot buy health with wealth. I agree. But no, wealth, it is important. It facilitates our life. It makes our life easier. And yes, we can live a better life. I believe so.
Yes, and that's all.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Najah.
Thank you.
Who else wants to add something or share her input or his input? Yes, Maisa.
So I agree with what you have mentioned. I agree with what also Najah has mentioned. I found the book actually it was the rules mentioned in the book are very important. It's an important reminder for all of us. Some of the things I actually did not think about previously, but now I'm beginning to consider because of the book.
Yeah.
I really like that the language, although the book was written previously, very long time ago,
Yeah.
the language is very easy to read. Yani, I've read Shakespeare before. With Shakespeare, you had sometimes to search for the terms, for the definition of the terms.
Big
I've
time,
not
I
had
saw.
to do this with this book. It was very easy for me to read it through. The stories are very interesting, and they help also to make you grasp the concept more and more. Sometimes I found that it was a bit repetitive, so I was reading through the book and I found this was mentioned before. I thought the book might have been shorter and would have provided the same content and with all of the details.
Yes.
But nonetheless, I enjoyed really the stories, and I am beginning to think a lot about my financial management of stuff, because I'm not a financial person. I'm not into economics or anything. I learned few concepts that I found are very interesting to implement. And I want to thank you again for this choice. Always, it's a pleasure to read the books because we're always learning new things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maisa. Thanks for your input. Anyone else wants to share or add anything? No? Okay. I'm gonna go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you what two books I will introduce to you today. Okay, can you see my screen, all of you? Okay. I thought to change a bit and go a bit of philosophy. You know Osho, but I want you, please, if you are going to read Osho, you have to be very open-minded, because Osho is an extreme open-minded person. Osho talked about maturity in this book. It is a nice book. I have not read all of it, but I really want to continue reading it. I just put some notes about it. You know, Osho is a very spiritual person, and he is the leader of spirituality in the 20th century. And he encourages us to embrace the qualities of life. And he talks about the maturity and the responsibility of being oneself. The second book, I really, really adore Chris Gardner. Have you watched the movie The Pursuit of Happiness? Any one of you? For Will Smith?
Yes, it's a beautiful movie.
So this movie, Maisa, it's about
movie.
it's about Chris Gardner. You know, we know Chris Gardner was a person who used to sleep with his little kid in the metro station and the bus station because he didn't have to live, and now he is one of the millionaires, multi-millionaire investor. If you haven't watched the movie, please go ahead and watch it, The Pursuit of Happiness. I watch this movie at least once per year. I love it a lot. And this book is the start where you are. It's a very nice book. He really teaches us through this book how to start from wherever we are to reach whatever we want, because he did it by himself, as if we are going to read a bit about his learnings, and he's going to teach us how he was able to achieve. So I don't know if it interests you, or this time you want to go for something light, something philosophy, if you admire Osho or not, or if you have read any book for him. So let's, 1 minute. Okay, let's go for the second poll. Okay. So let's vote. Ignore the first one. Our next book to read is number 1, if you want maturity, or start where you are for Chris Gardner. Let's all of us vote. few more seconds I'm gonna give. Okay. So we will go for start where you are, Chris Gardner. Who is happy?
Always very happy.
Who wanted Osho, by the way, because I made it without names. Who wanted Osho? Annie.
Me.
Najah as well. Najah, this is the second time you want Osho. Promise, next book we will read. I will not put a poll and we will go for Osho maturity because I really want to read it as well. Okay? Do we agree all? So this time we go for Chris Gardner. Next month, our book is Osho's maturity. It's really nice to understand what is the real maturity in our life. All right?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
for sure.
As usual, then I will share with you the PDF of the book. Enjoy reading it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so much happy that you joined. Thank you so much. Lots of kisses to all of you. See you next month.
Thank you, Hasmik.
Bye.
Thank you, Hasmik.
Take care.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye bye.